Bienvenidos este viernes aquí con Raúl Guajardo y yo, P.L.C, Sexy Flexy. I didn't come up with another name because Gordo is not a good one. Gordo and Flaco, can we do that?
I'm not too flattered. That'll work.
It's Friday, Flex's Legal Bits. It's the show that you know and love. Of course, if you have not yet subscribed, if you're catching this for the first time, make sure you click a like. That way you can stay followed. And you can see when the next one comes up, which is, surprise, surprise, it's on Friday. But I had a great week this week.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Coach. How's that, Coach? Coach loves chips and salsas. Cheese. Oh, it was cheese. Coach, you're watching this? Catch you on that airstrip.
My bad. People want serious answers to all those questions.
Yeah. So if you're looking for some legal tips, this is where you can find it. But for anybody jumping in for the first time, you got to let them know who you is.
Well, I is. My name is Raúl Guajardo, and I'm an attorney here in Edinburgh, Texas. I've been practicing for a little over 22 years now, and we focus on personal injury cases. We have an office in Edinburgh, McAllen, Brownsville, and San Antonio.
Yep, we'll be in San Antonio next week if you want to catch us there. And you can hear us on consultations, so we'll be there. You can always hit up our good buddy, Lorena, over there in San Antonio, but all the offices are available 24 hours, and it's pretty good.
That's right.
Yeah. So this week, covering, of course, a timeless tale of a story of how one city has been building 4 roads for the last 50 years. Okay. Talking about the FAR interchange. So,
shout out to TxDOT.
It's a TxDOT. Thanks a lot. Yeah, they're still working on it. We got construction zones going on, change of lanes, and, unfortunately, people get into accidents around there. So kind of coming to question, you have an accident in one of those areas because it's always something going on. Who's to blame?
Yeah, I mean, that comes in a lot. We have people call about having accidents in the highway. It's sometimes not caused by other vehicles, but rather by some debris left by somebody who was working on the roadway or on a sidewalk, things of that nature. And you go back to see who actually was doing the job and whether it was properly secured to prevent accidents. It would be the person who actually was working out there. But there are always possibilities that could be a third party, aside from the person who was working on that side.
Just depending on the extent of the damage, what caused it.
Well, I mean, like right now we have this particular accident about this gentleman who was injured while riding his bike at night. He was going to the store, and in a particular city, I think it was far. Far. But they were working on the roadway, on the sidewalk, and the contractor did not secure that area properly. Left some pipes standing out, from the sidewalk. And this gentleman, it was not a well-lit area. He was on his way to the store, and he tripped over that pipework and he flipped over and got pretty hurt. So you think about the city being responsible to begin with because it is, city property. But, remember the city sometimes delegates or hires contractors to work on these parts. So in this particular case, there is a contractor to go after. But for example, and this is not the case for us, but if somebody from the city, because I know it happens a lot with the state, somebody from the city is actually supervising that work, then you also can make a claim against that entity. But for the most part, everyone who was a contractor that works for cities or states or things of that nature, they become responsible when they're the ones that work in that area. They should have the proper coverage, to compensate people for accidents they may have had.
So whether it's vehicle, if I understand one of the cases is for somebody riding a bicycle, in any situation, even somebody walking, because it could happen just somebody walking down the sidewalk. You should have to make a report, right?
Yeah. We have another case here in San Antonio. That was in the roadway. And they didn't properly secure this pile of dirt. They didn't block it out and whatnot. And it was not a well-lit area either. This person had an accident there too. So it could happen in the roadway, sidewalks. But for the most part, that's a kind of that's what we need to look for. Who was responsible for leaving that out there?
I mean, I guess it's going to get kind of tangled in, right? Like say you have a part of a vehicle that maybe fell off of the construction zone because there was a pothole. You know what I'm saying? So would that in turn have to be, okay, well, that's the other person's fault because it was the other person's vehicle? I mean, or who would you try to determine who's at fault of?
Well, when there's a pothole, it's a little bit different than it being an actual construction zone. Because when there's a pothole, I mean, the city needs to go out there and take care of that. But then it becomes an issue of notice. How long has a pothole been there? How long have they known? That kind of thing. But what you're talking about is also what we call an intervening act. Let's say, for example, someone had a vehicle that was maybe not in great condition and something dropped off or whatnot, and that caused an accident. But would the city be responsible because of that or not? So it gets hairy and it's interesting, but you have to look at all the parameters there.
So what automatically constitutes for an event or an accident to fall on the party that's, say, doing the construction? So now you were saying that there was an instance for like a McAllen event. McAllen had lots of flashy things in order to get the driver's attention to let them know, hey, there was something coming over here. So what can somebody look for in a construction area saying they do have an accident to say, oh, well, that's a telltale sign to where they're not properly?
Well, and that, that happens a lot when, like in the cases that we have, of course, the adjusters or the lawyers for the other side, they always ask, when was the first time you see it? They always ask our clients, how did you see this? And sometimes it's like, well, I didn't see it until I got hurt. Well, were you looking forward? Were you watching where you were going? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
And in like, for example, the bike case, the issue there, it's in a neighborhood to begin with. It's not on the main highway, and it's not a well-lit area. So that's a big thing. Now, when you're riding a bike, I know people are talented and all that, but when you're riding a bike, it's a little bit harder to be on the phone, texting, right?
Yeah.
Riding a bike. So for the most part, this person was paying attention going forward, using both hands to move his bike, and nonetheless got hurt. So his claim or his statement is like, well, it's not a well-lit area. It's a neighborhood, and it wasn't blocked out.
Yeah.
If it would have been blocked out, have you seen that orange mesh that they put sometimes in areas? That's enough to let someone know that's, you're working there, so not to go around that area. So it was not blocked out at all. So, that was an issue. And the fact that it was not well lit, contributed to that. But of course, they do try and put some responsibility, or they also need to see if the other party could have avoided it. Let's say, for example, suppose it was a car, right? And they're driving into that pile of dirt we talked about. Were they on their phone? Were they texting? Why couldn't they see where their lights on? Why couldn't they see that pile of dirt? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're looking at me like you don't see what I'm saying.
I'm visualizing in my head,
All right.
trying to come up with, what if he didn't see it? But no,
Yeah. The bike thing is a little bit of a stronger case, to say, well, it's not a well-lit area. Plus, you obviously have to be using both hands for the most part. You can't be texting in. I don't know, maybe you can. I don't think I could.
I can ride a bike with no hands,
That's true, too.
It has talent and balance, because this big boy is good. Balancing on two wheels. Yeah.
On the one wheel. So
don't forget, if you are in a construction zone, to make sure to take precaution when you're going out there. If you do see an area, it's going to be there, but maybe you're not too familiar with what's there. Just take it a little slower. But it can be a construction area like the far interchange. It can be a construction area that's maybe not in like you're saying, in the neighborhood. Whether it's in a vehicle, if you're on a bicycle, if you're on foot, it could happen. Have any precautionary measures that they can take?
Well, really, it's just to, as far as precautionary measures, to just watch where you're going.
Stay off your phone.
Get off your phone. Watch where you're going. Again, the phone thing is a big, big distraction. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have to be texting, even on Bluetooth. It has happened to everybody. I know it's happened to me a lot. So just distraction is a big thing.
Yeah.
Don't be distracted when you drive or walk or ride a bike.
Or be mindful of any signs that they might have. I know they post some state of Texas. I think they already passed that construction workers can post speed limit changes without state approval. So make sure you're watching all the signs. Make sure that you stay safe. And should anything ever happen, you can make sure to give us a call at 956-318-3200 or the websites.
It's www.raulguajardo.com.
Mm-hmm. Or Facebook.
Yeah.
Want to give it to them?
Yeah. It's just the law office of Raul Guajardo. You can find us there.
This is the way it's supposed to work. Back and forth.
Back and forth.
We're also on TikTok. We're on Instagram.
Texas Legal Eagle. TX Legal Eagle.
Is
that right, listening? Yeah. That's right.
Leslie's back there. You can also go check us out. Facebook, we do our lives. We're in the middle of our giveaway here, the 12 days of Christmas. Thanks to everyone that got themselves registered. Congratulations to those that have won. And don't forget, if you have not registered, make sure to do so and stay tuned for more giveaways, because he's got a big heart. He just likes to hook people up.
And it's the season to be jolly, and he's going to dress up as Santa Claus, and he's going to give out his last gift.
We are?
Yeah.
Wait till the next episode. Make sure to click like. Don't forget YouTube. Also, we have the shorts that come out on there as well. But yeah, if you want to be part of the next Flex's Legal Bit, chime in and wait for that live that's coming up next year. We got lots of stuff happening for 2024. Live Flex's Legal Bit. You can catch that there on Facebook, and then we'll share on our other social media platforms. But make sure to stay tuned. Final thoughts?
Yeah, by the way, thank you to all of us who follow us and make comments. And if there's any particular subject you guys want to talk about, aside from what he says about personal stuff for me, any legal topics you want to talk about, by all means, chime in, and we'll be glad to address those as well. And don't forget to give us a call at 956-318-3200 should you need anything.
www.raulguajardo.com, and we will catch you on the next Flex's Legal Bit.
And we're with you.